Hi guys, this is Johan from Cancun Discounts by Johan and Sandra at cancun-discounts.com, and I'm here to tell you today a little more updated information about the current situation with coronavirus in Mexico, as well as the travel requirements that you have when you go. Now, it's important, first of all, just to say Mexico is open. All of Mexico is open to tourists from the US and Canada. There are no restrictions in place by Mexico for any kind of quarantining, any type of testing, anything like that. All there is a set of worldwide renowned protocols for social distancing, hygiene, disinfection, everything that every tourist destination right now is doing. Mexico is doing too, and they're taking this stuff really seriously because, of course, nobody wants you to come through Mexico and end up with coronavirus. That is not something that Mexico wants, and they're taking every single precaution they possibly can to make sure that nothing like that would ever happen to you. So now, so as long as, of course, you follow the protocols and you don't do anything crazy. So I'm here to give you a little advice about what that is. So now Mexico's been open since about June. So they've been doing this now for over half a year. And we've all been dealing with coronavirus and masks and washing your hands and all that now for almost a year. So there's really nothing has changed in that way. It's still like that. And it is like that in Mexico, just like it is in the US and Canada right now. The difference is Mexico's not on lockdown. You're able to freely travel around when you come to your vacation. You can come and go. The beaches are open. The tours are open. The attractions are open, just with strict protocols in place as far as how many people you can have, how spaced you're going to be, how clean everything needs to be. They're telling you about, making sure you have people assigned to give you information so that you're always informed about what you need to do. But except for just those standard protocols, everything is so set up and automatic right now, you're probably not even going to feel that when you come down because you're so used to that already back home. So it's not a big deal as far as that goes. You will need to wear your mask on the airplane. You will need to wear it at the airport. And in any type of public transportation or going into public places like grocery stores, when you walk in and out of restaurants, not when you're sitting at the table, you don't have to, have your mask on while you're eating. But when you get up and you walk past other people and you don't have social distance at your hotel, at a restaurant, your store, put on your mask. And then, of course, when you go to the beach, when you go to the pool, when you go to you're out, walking around away from other people, you're taking a beach walk or whatever you want to do like that. Then you don't need to wear your mask. You're not going to have to worry about that tan line across your face or anything like that. So don't worry about that. Just when you are near other people and you can't have your distance. Common sense, really. So that's as far as masks. Now, as far as protocols that the United States has in place, like what you need to do if you are an American and want to travel to Mexico. Now, there's plenty of flights going now. This is not a problem like it was during the summer. You can go easily to Mexico and plan your trip. There's some good prices, good deals. Now, as far as the protocols go, the only requirement that the U.S. has is that now, as of just the January 26th, you now need to have a COVID test to return to the United States, a negative COVID test. And what does that mean? And how hard is that? Well, it's really not a big deal. You only need an antigen test to come back to the United States. You do not need a PCR test. And why do you care about the difference? It's only the price. It's really the difference. And you get your results faster with an antigen test. So here's how it works. You fly to Mexico just like normal. You go and you have a great time on your vacation. But when you get to your hotel, they're going to explain to you how this all works and what you're going to need to do as far as your protocols and all of that. And then they're going to probably, depending on the hotel, generally they're going to assign you a time or make an appointment with you for a few days before you leave, where right there, conveniently at your hotel, they will have a doctor there who's going to give you like a 1 minute COVID test. No needles or anything. These are nasal swab tests, and they just take a minute. And then with these rapid tests, you get them back. The results are emailed to you within about 10 minutes, usually, maybe 30 minutes. It just depends, right? But like that. And then if you are from Canada, You will also need to do the same process, but you will need a PCR test. And they have those at the hotels too. There are a lot of places all over Cancun, and your hotel, your Airbnb host, your villa rental owner, anybody like that is going to be able to tell you exactly how that works. So the doctors usually come to you, or they're already there at your hotel. You just need to set a time, and they come and they give you the test. Now, at the hotels, almost all the hotels right now are doing these tests for free, so you don't even have to worry about the price. So now if you're at Airbnb or going more independent like that, or maybe like a hostel and that, you're probably gonna maybe you're gonna need to pay, but they're right now they're very cheap. These rapid tests are between like $12 and $25. So they're not like cost prohibitive. Like it used to be to get the PCR test in the States, you'd have to pay $150 or $200. You don't have to do that now to come back from Mexico. So most of the hotels are doing it for free. And just recommend before you go, call your hotel and just ask them, hey, how does it work? What do you guys offer? Because a lot of hotels are even offering, if you were to test positive, and so you weren't allowed on the airplane right then, and you need to stay. It's not like you go off to some, military facility or something like that. You go back to your hotel, and your hotel puts you up. Most of the big hotels right now are even offering free quarantine if you were to have to quarantine until you tested positive. And as soon as you test positive, you can go back. This is pretty useful. This has always been that way. If you're having coronavirus and having a bunch of symptoms, nobody wants you on the airplane, as you don't want anyone else on the airplane near you. So it's just the world we live in. But of course, there's very little chance that you're going to, with all these protocols in place and and you checked yourself out before you went and you following, the rules. There's very, very little chance that you're not going to just be going and getting your negative test and going onto the airplane. So, of course, and if it does happen, your hotel's there to take care of you. And you'll just stay there at the hotel until you get your negative test. So, and that's it. That's all you have to do. That 1 minute, usually free, maybe $10 to $20 kind of test that lasts that you do a few days before you leave. That's it. So this has been made to sound really freaky on the media and the talk of quarantines and all that, but it's just not. It's not exactly the way that it is. Okay. So here's the difference. Always, the CDC has recommended that when you come back to the U.S., you take 7 to 10 days and you stay at home. They've always recommended that. Since the very beginning of coronavirus, they're still recommending that. There is still no requirement for you to do that, but it is recommended. Point being, when you get home, just in case, even though you've just had your test, just in case, they recommend try to stay away from other people for a week or so. Try to be socially distant. Stay at home as much as you can. Use common sense, just in case, because they don't want you bringing, if you got something along the way, they don't want you bringing it back in. But with this extra test, I think the chances are pretty slim. So there's no quarantine requirement when you come back. There's a recommendation that you do that. Then also, and it's not like it's enforced and you're going to go off to jail. It's just they're making a good common sense recommendation to you. And then they also have a recommendation that when you come back, that you take a second test. That way you can have a total, clean frame of mind and all of that. Again, these tests are free at your local CVS, Walgreens, whatever. So at your local clinic. You can go in and do a drive-through most times now, and you can get your test and just so you feel confident. Again, this is not required. This is optional. It is a CDC recommendation that you do that before and after traveling. So it's up to you, to follow the recommendation or at least use some common sense depending on your situation. So that's basically it. So take your test before you go back in the United States. Bring your mask at the airport and on transportation and public spaces, and relax and have a great time on your vacation. For Canadians, the only difference is right now that you do need to quarantine when you go back to Canada. That's been in place since the beginning of COVID. It still is. And they now are asking you to do a PCR test. Now, you've heard probably that the Canadian flights are no longer flying to Mexico until the end of April. However, if you really want to go to Mexico, a lot of people are still doing it. You just have to fly one stop through the U.S. now to do it instead of those nice direct flights on Sunwing and WestJet and like that. And then when you come back, you'll take your test. And when you come back, you need to do your quarantine as you always have back in Canada. So that's pretty much the protocols. Now, as far as what you're going to find when you get here, everything is open. The ruins are open. Everything is open. It's pretty much a normal vacation experience. The only thing that has changed really a little bit that I can think of at this moment, other than just amount of people on the boats and things, is the bars and nightclubs. For example, the big nightclubs in Cancun, Cocobongo, is not, it is open, but it's not the same as it was before. You don't have these huge nightclubs inside with thousands of people, massed together and dancing. They're outdoors. They've serving food, so it's more like a restaurant with entertainment that's outdoors rather than like a pure nightclub district like it was before. So you got places, Mandala Beach Club, for example, it's always outdoors anyway, so that's open. The restaurants and things are open. All of our tourists and attractions are open. And of course, if you have any questions about any of these things, we have our team of specialists here to tell you all about it, answer your questions, and help you to plan the right trip for you. I hope this has helped answer some of your questions. If you have any more, please let me know. We're here to, we have this video. We also have another video from back in July, which except for things being open, which has changed a little bit, most of the stuff is still the same. But there's some good information on there. Also on our webpage, on our coronavirus page, you'll see the little gray banner at the top of all of our web pages. You can just click that, see the latest. You could get on our email list. If anything changes, you'll be updated. And just go have a nice time in Cancun. All right, we'll see you in the sunshine. Thank you very much.